and welcome into Hey Coach. It's just a little bit past time. We made a little pivot from outside. It was hot, and then we made it inside, and then we woke up Costco. And
technical difficulties.
Technical difficulties.
All right,
but
here we go.
it's the first live show. It's going to be great. Great to be back at Walk Ons. We can talk about a win. We can talk about a win this week.
Exactly.
Got some fans here. So let's go back and revisit last Friday night. It was elementary night, so there were a lot of people there. You broke out the red jerseys. It was one of those things. I was like, wow, I was looking for the Navy and broke out with the reds. It's one of the coolest looks I think we have is the red with the white. But some takeaways from your team this week. From week one, this week two, you saw a lot of improvement.
We did.
Where'd you see the most improvement?
I think the most improvement was in our offensive line. I thought saw a lot of guys. Those do a great job up front. We were physical up front, really on both sides of the ball.
Yeah.
So I was really pleased with that. And but look, overall, we digressed in a little bit on some extra point snaps on special teams, but really overall as a team, we did some great things and got better. And we're going to need to do that again this week.
Yeah. You look at you faced a wing T team that you don't see every week. So it's one of those. I equated it to more like a military academy. You have to prepare for all that in a different kind of way versus everybody doing spread. How did you feel like your defense did of shutting down the run when they went play action? You had a bunch of D linemen who were in the right. Boston Sims, who's a player of the week we'll talk about, was in the right area. James Downer, some guys making plays and kind of bottling up that offense. You had to play assignment football. They scored only 6 points.
Yeah, well, it is different and they do a great job of it. They really do. And so if you'd have told me we'd have held them to 7, I'd have been happy. But a shutout, basically, they did a super job. I'd like to see us play a little lower pad level at times, but overall we flew the football and did a great job of stopping those guys. And look, anytime they tried to throw it, we were all over them. So we did a good job. And I'll tell you that type of offense, like you say, whether it be triple option or wing T, everybody's got an assignment to do, and it really, to me, helps you become a better, fundamentally sound team. Everybody's got to do their job. You know what I'm saying?
Well, we talked about that on last week's show. I said assignment. You're like it's more about alignment and knowing where you have to line up, and then play football with it, and then read your keys. So.
Well, you don't see a lot of tight wings, like you say. Then they're unbalanced too. And then the speed and motion, and the play action, and the bootlegs, and like I say, it's definitely a little different what we see a lot of times. So I thought our guys did a good job.
Yeah, the eye discipline I thought was really good. Let's go to the offensive side of the ball. You scored 47 points. 50 burgers, kind of the goal sometimes when you want to get a lot of points. But you had a lot of guys step up with Colson O'Kane, Jackson Jenkins, Michael McCrory gets in the mix. Case Thomas has another one of Case Thomas's nights. You see some guys starting to work, but it always goes in like fall camp. Your defense gets faster and better than your offense does, so the defense is more along. Now your offense is now going into week 3. What were some good things you saw from your offensive side of the ball?
I was, week 1 playing Ravenwood, they moved so much, and it being week 1, that's tough. But we did a good job. We really were really close on a few plays of having a lot of good runs against those guys. This week, I just thought we got more physical up front. Our guys really come off the ball a little better. And then, like you say, we had to walk down and play that tough run on defense. And so our linebackers and defensive ends did a tremendous job, as well as our safeties coming down and fitting on the run. So I just thought, again, our run fits, and I thought our physicality on the offensive line. And then, good to see us hit some nice deep balls.
Oh yeah.
Early in the scrimmages and stuff, we didn't do a great job of that.
Right.
I thought we were on point with that other night.
Yeah, I went back and saw the clip you told me to go and watch today.
Yeah.
That was textbook.
It really was.
You see Will Bezot run that route, stack the balls out before he even looks, and it's textbook.
Just like you teach it. So we had several good routes like that, and we connected on them, and we did a great job. Again, we did a great job on our RPOs, getting the ball out quick. We hit some of those early. I think the first down we got, we hit Case in the flats.
Yeah.
We caught him in man. We had a quick out built in, and we just get it out there fast. So we had a good tempo early, and then did a great job. You know, the one thing when you do play those types of offenses, boy, if we can get ahead a little bit, it kind of gets them a little uncomfortable, and we were able to do so.
Yeah, it gets them out of their game plan to where they control the clock. I know one of those things was you were scared that they were going to try to play takeaway from you.
And overall, they did pretty good. We had it 5 plays the first quarter, so that was less than we had in the fourth quarter last week.
Yeah.
So I was kind of worried at first, but we were able to get a turnover or two, and then able to capitalize quickly, and so it kind of started mounting pretty fast in the second quarter.
All right. Well, we've done week 1. This is week 2, and we'll close the book on week 2. Final thoughts from this week, just from your guys of last week, I should say, of week 2's preparation against Jeff Davis. Overarching theme coming out of that week for your guys.
Again, we just improved a lot up front. An area and families here, but I think one of our best football players right now, is Will Jones. He's doing a great job in the blocking. He's caught some passes in the first few games. We're doing a lot more, a little bit more NFL play action, run action stuff, and then kind of getting him out in the flats and stuff like that on that stuff. So we need a guy that can really perform at that, and he's kind of elevated our whole offense by doing that. And so that's been big for us. And if you notice on some of those run action, we really got everybody biting down. It's really giving us some nice, easy throws behind that. So it's good. That's a good addition to kind of some stuff we're wanting to do this year to add to our offense.
Yeah, I'll say from watching week 1 and now week 2, the growth of your guys.
Yeah.
I think they closed that book. They opened up and said, hey, this is a new week.
Well, look, we really were close the first week.
Yeah.
Just small detailed stuff that you would hope some of our veteran guys would not have done, but we did.
Yeah.
If they don't do that, we probably win the game. But they did. But we kind of cleaned a lot of that up last week. Hopefully, we'll clean a lot more up this week.
Yeah, got a big test. We'll be right back with Hey Coach from Walk Ons to talk about that contest this week. Stay tuned. You're watching Hey Coach live from Walk Ons.
Gumbo is a quintessential Louisiana dish, right? Our gumbo's just got tremendous flavor. It's about quality. If you skip any part of the process, you'll definitely get called out for it, and we just don't do that. Of course, we have salt and pepper shakers on every table, but rarely do we see someone pick them up. If you're gonna do a gumbo, you better do it the right way.
Time out! You got a tackle out there. It's killing us.
I'm trying, Coach. Who is that guy? He moves. He moves like water.
He is water. He's the best dang football playing roof leak in the state.
But I can't stop him.
Of course you can't. You know nothing about roofing. So get out there and do your job.
Your smile. It's how you share your truest feelings, your dreams, yourself with the world. And at the Winning Smile, your smile is our passion. That's why we offer in-house financing options, convenient appointment times, and personalized treatment plans to help keep you healthy and discover your confidence to unleash your best smile. Learn more at thewinningsmile.com.
And welcome back to Hey Coach Live from Walk Ons. just closed the book on Jeff Davis. Now we open up a familiar opponent, one that we know too well, that it stings a little bit from last year.
No doubt.
We traveled to Flowood Friday night to play Hartfield Academy, the defending 2-time state champs.
Yep. Yeah, but big game, you know. I know it's power points this year, but honestly, most of us Big Four can kind of do what we normally do, and it'll probably come down to us again.
Right.
So this is big for seeding at the end of the year, and and then always, hey, it's Hartfield. You know?
Right.
So
That's right.
we've grown to be a pretty good rival over the last few years.
Yeah.
We've had a lot of wars. We were talking about it. You going back to 22, we lost by a last-second field goal by 3. You go to 23, we lost to 63-56 in overtime over there, both of those games. Then we come back here last year, win the first game, and then lost by 3 in the playoffs, which we felt like, you know, had every opportunity. When we actually had scored and had it called back. So it's been a war, is what I'm trying to say. Either way. And then, you know, then a few years before that, we won those. So it's been a war for several years now, and they're definitely a quality opponent.
That's right. Well, it's our first road test, and I use that term lightly. You're in the metro, so it's not one of these 2.5-hour bus trips that we're going to have to take in 2 weeks to Carterville. But how do you prepare for an away game with your guys this week? As we go through, you had practice this morning, you practiced Monday on Labor Day. How do you approach these games? Any differently than you would a home game? Or
No, I just want to see execution.
Right.
You know, focus and execution in practice, so we can just, you know, worry about us getting better, 1% better every day. I told everybody, if everybody get 1% better today, then as a whole, we can really keep climbing that ladder.
That's right.
That's been our goal. Win, lose, or draw, we want to keep climbing the ladder so we're at the very top, at our very peak.
Right.
Come playoff time.
That's
so that's the challenge each and every day.
Yeah. Well, you look at Hartfield, they lost a lot of guys to graduation. You've seen the tape. You've been watching it. What do they do well that kind of exploits things that we do?
Well, still got a big running back. He's going to pound it downhill. You know, they got a good tight end block for him. They're good, still good size up front on the offensive line. So, so we're going to have to do a great job stopping the run. And when you start sticking your nose in there too much, we know number 2 can knock the top off, as he did to us last year on the first game. So we got to do a good job staying on top of him and look, just staying on him. I mean, last year he took basically a screen out in the flats. We had 4 or 5 people there. Couldn't lay a hand on him. He goes, 60 or 70. Yeah. So explosive guy, again, remembering from a couple years ago in that 63-56 game, got to be careful and not be able to kick it to him in the kicking game.
Yeah.
So I'm going on record right now. If we kick it to him, Coach Davis did not make the call.
You heard it there.
So
if the
anyway,
ball gets into his hands, he did not make the call.
He's a special player. I mean, even last week against Columbia, he caught a nice little short pass and made some explosive plays off of it. So he's an explosive player. He's not a 5-star, one top player of the state for nothing.
He's not going to Auburn just because. I mean, he's top.
So we got to do. Actually, we did a pretty good job on him in the playoffs. We didn't stop the run like we wanted to. We did stop the explosive plays over the top. So we got to be able to improve on that and continue to not let them knock the top off it.
Yeah, with it being an early game, non-conference game, which is weird to say. When you look at this game, and you've already mentioned it's playing for power points, but how much more motivation have your guys needed this week, knowing that there's been a seesaw battle of wins and losses versus this group?
I don't know. I hope they're thinking like me, but but it's a game we want to win. We've lost some tough ones. Hate losing those, so definitely put in the long hours this weekend. See what we got to do. Try to win this game. But again, great team. Not taking anything away from them, but for us to be able to win this game, we've got to come in and do what we do. Mm-hmm. And I'm sure they're saying the same thing over there. So really, it's all about who's going to improve the most this week, be the most consistent. Don't turn the ball over. Limit the explosive plays. on each side of the ball, because I would dare say they're probably thinking the same thing over there with us.
Right.
You know, that they want to stay on top of everything too. So if they do that, we got to be able to execute and find ways to score.
Well, definitely not a wing T team this week.
No.
Not a wing T team. But does it help if you think about the kind of offense that they have, the spread, run, pass option, and seeing Ravenwood?
Yeah.
It's prepared you a little bit more, and
It
you
has.
have a little bit more. You know, a lot of people ask, like, why do you play those games? Why do you play Ravenwood? Why do you play those big? It's for games like this to get your guys prepared.
Ravenwood is really, really one of the best coached teams we'll play. They do a great job on both sides of the ball schematically, and then of course their kids just have a sense of winning about them. So it was good to prepare for that game. We'll have a lot of things that we prepared for in that game that will definitely help us as the year goes.
Yeah, you see they translate. I didn't know this.
And then, you know, they play with a tight end much like Hartfield does, and so that was something that we, you know, that was good for us defensively. And then, and you know, they take their shots too. So it's it was good for us.
Yeah, one thing you and I talked about going back to Ravenwood for a minute is they play rugby and wrestling. So no wonder they were flying around the football.
Yeah, they do.
Defensively, Hartfield, before we close up this segment, defensively still the same?
Yeah, you know, I played a lot more man last week, you know, and in the playoffs last year they played a lot more man, but you know, he's typically played a little bit of that in cover four, so we'll see. You know, a little bit different team last week. Columbia more power downhill kind of team, where we'll kind of hopefully mix it, you know, good and do a good job there, and so it'll be interesting to see how they match up to us.
Yeah. Final thought on this. I know there's one guy on your team that's had this circled for a long time, and that's your kicker, Wade Hansford, of just coming into his own his senior year. The touchbacks are, I mean, he's bombing them 5-6 yards deep. You can see the focus that's there.
Yeah.
You know, there's got to be a little bit more focus there this week for him.
Sure. Well, you know, me and Mr. Rand was talking about today that it's kind of ironic how we ended the season. In the first trip down of this season, we hit it from the same spot. And I told him, I said, you know, first of all, I wanted to get something positive for our team out of that drive, even though it wasn't 7.
Right.
And I wanted him to have a good positive approach,
That's awesome.
knowing that, hey, that's gone. I'm going to step in. We're going to have a great year. I'm going to hit this thing. And he did. So, and then we've had a good one. He's done good since then. So we can get him some good snaps on extra points. You know, we can finish that thing out a little bit better. We got to improve on that. So we've been trying to do that. And we still got some work on it. We've worked on it the last 2 days, but it's not where it needs to be. So we got to improve on that. 'Cause obviously, we can lose a football game that way.
Yeah, one of our dads is here that I held for in college. It's important for snap, hold, and the kick. So
No doubt.
With that, we're going to end the second segment. We'll be back to the final segment.
From small-town courtrooms to the Mississippi Supreme Court, our attorneys have over 60 years' experience litigating cases all across Mississippi. The odds say you'll need an attorney at some point, and when you do, you can have the home field advantage with your hometown lawyers right around the corner from MRA. Gladden and Ingram, attorneys at law.
Quality, integrity, and excellence. Kincaid's Fine Clothing, Old Town Square, Ridgeland.
Motion is what connects us to our world, to each other, and us. We were born to keep you in motion, however you decide to do so.
We carry a wide variety of Continental passenger and light truck SUV tires. Take to the road with confidence and install Continental brand tires on your vehicle today.
Tire Pros. Love the drive.
Ely's is a proud sponsor of MRA Patriot Athletics. Come try our USDA Prime New York Strip, bone-in filet, New England scallops, or sauteed Gulf crab claws. Ely's also offers an extensive wine list and bar selections. Ely's, upstairs on Jackson Street in Ridgeland. Good luck, Patriots. And welcome back to Head Coach, our final segment. Put a bow on Hartfield Academy week, but we do have some players of the week that we need to talk about. We'll start off with the Mortgage Man Offensive Player of the Week, brought to you by Went McGee. Samuel Stockett, 9 for 15, 290 yards, 4 touchdown passes. Tell me about his week.
A solid week. We even had, really had a couple drops too, because it should have been 11 for 15. But it was a good night. We made some good decisions. Good to see him bounce back. And like I say, we thought we connected on some deep balls that we haven't been done, in preseason a little bit, but that we did this summer. So it's good to see us hit those again. We've had a good week this week too. So
yeah, I was in the kid zone, and every time I'd see the scoreboard, I'd see a ball in the air, and then fireworks would go off. I was like, well, we just scored again. We scored again.
Yeah.
So Samuel Stockett, our Offensive Player of the Week. Defensive Player of the Week, Boston Sims, brought to you by Shelter Insurance, local agent Bradford Foster. He had 8 tackles, 1 sack, 1 tackle for loss. And I will tell you this, I saw him go in the second play of the game. I was standing there after the kickoff, opening kickoff, and you had somebody jump off sides. He goes in, kind of a Wally Pipp moment, like, hey, if you're going to do that, I'm going to capitalize. Talk about Boston's game.
Yeah, no doubt. Just good to see him. Hard worker, great kid. Has done a great job. Been kind of rotating some guys. He's been one of the rotation, but really stepped in last week. Played really well. It's good to see that.
He strikes me as a guy that you would have coached in the 80s. Just one of those hard-nosed football players.
No doubt.
Yes, sir.
That's right.
How hard do you want me to go? 100%. Can I go 105? Yeah, he seems like that kind of guy.
No doubt. No doubt.
Then your Specialist Player of the Week, brought to you by Jeff Foote and Whitetail Properties. Caden Ward had 2 special teams tackle. On the opening kickoff, he almost had a strip fumble.
Yes.
Talk about Caden coming back.
When we didn't kick it in the end zone, he made every tackle. So it was good for him. He's getting down there. We actually just inserted him on some special teams last week.
Yep.
And so obviously he made a name for himself. So we're going to get him ready to get on some more. So he did a great job.
Yeah, and I see that it's one of those guys that was playing through injury a little bit, had some injuries early during fall camp, comes in, gets his chance.
Yeah, really was on some more early in camp, penciled in, but again, the injuries and, the dehydration kind of put him behind. But he'll probably end up finding his way back into some more special teams.
Yeah, another sophomore getting some action. And then your Offensive Lineman of the Week, brought to you by William Fincher, Lee Hawkins Realty, is Heed Burnham.
Yeah.
He graded out 88%.
88%, by far and away the best he's done since he's been here. Played with a lot of confidence, really came off the ball physical last week. Did a great job in our pass pro. So we need that guy playing at that type of level. So a great job. I'm proud for him. He's worked hard.
Talk about that position real quick. Because a lot of people see when things go bad, they blame that one person or 2 people or that whole 5 group. Talk about the importance of that group growing.
Well, we talked about they did a lot this week. And like you say, honestly, last week, 4 of us looked great. We had that one guy that didn't, and it kind of killed the play. And so we had a lot more of all 5 of them working together the other night. Obviously, he did a great job. We really had 2 other guys in the 70s too, so we had maybe even 3. So we had a lot of improvement with our offensive line last week, and so good to see that.
Yeah, congratulations to Samuel, Boston, Caden, and Heed for their Player of the Week. It's one of those cool things that we get people to sponsor those, and I think it's good to celebrate those guys when they do well.
Absolutely.
So let's take a final glance at Hartfield and maybe peek into what's down the road, because you just don't look at week 1. A lot of coaches look like, man, what do I have coming up? What's one of the, or maybe not
this year. Not this year. We're looking 1 week at a time.
Yeah. So what about this week? Are you looking for some key takeaways, like 3 things, or maybe 2 things on offense, 2 things on defense, and your special teams? What do they have to do for you to be successful on Friday night?
Well, I again want to see us, alignment and assignment. It sounds simple, but if we can get those 2, I feel like we're going to play hard.
Yeah.
So if we can get lined up and play fundamental football, but I want to see the physicality continue to get better.
Yeah.
I still think we got more in us on both sides of the ball, so I want to see that. And and then continue to improve. We got to improve a lot in our secondary, and then much is expected from our receiving core. So much is, I just believe we can be really, really good, man, if we continue to work the details each and every day of practice. So much is expected. I believe we can be really, really special.
Yeah.
I believe we are special, but continue to work on it each week.
That's right.
And
as you said a lot when I coached with you, were the details. The fine,
just details.
minute details.
Yeah.
And practice help you carry over to make it easy in a game.
Yeah, if you had to cover the whole group, that's what it comes down to.
Yeah.
Do we know how to block him? Yes, but how are we going to block him? Do we know how to run that route? Yeah, but how? Versus this coverage, do we run it here? Versus that coverage, versus man. Quarterback. Hey, it's man. I'm going here. Zone. I'm got to go here.
That's right.
So.
And that comes with film study. That comes with reps at practice. And being, and for me, I mean, you're zoning in at practice is the main thing.
No doubt.
How picture perfect can I be at practice? Yes, I'm going to probably make mistakes, or I know I'm going to make mistakes, but I'm messing up at a high level where I'm getting coached up in it.
And then that's where we can get better is practice.
Yeah.
We just got to get more focused in practice, and we can't just wait till Friday night and show up and think we're going to be good. I'm afraid if we don't get better at that, it's going to bite us in the tail.
Yeah, and you got cooler weather. I mean, it's not.
Yeah, it's been great. Plus
weather.
We practiced this morning. So, I mean,
that's even better. Coach Davis, thanks again for joining us on another edition of Hey Coach. We went live tonight, so some of the technical difficulties we'll start ironing out a little bit, but I'm excited for this Friday night. I think there's a lot of people in the Metro that are excited for this game, just from what the two programs stand for. So you're going to get there early. I know that.
No doubt. No doubt. It'll be a packed crowd, and they'll have it packed over there. We'll have it packed. It'll be a great atmosphere.
Yeah. Well, thank you for tuning in.